Severe weather batters the Golden State. 3 massive storms trigger flooding, mudslide warnings, and the deadliest avalanche in California's history. Tonight, a closer look at the devastation and the thousands now left without power. Plus, the partial government shutdown drags on, with the White House rejecting Democrats' latest offer. How much longer will the stalemate last? And who will feel the impact as parts of the government remain in limbo? And it's the latest trend in dating, and it's coming to a city near you. Is this the new way to date? Our reporter shows us how one theater is changing up the dating game. All that and more next.
Btvn News starts now.
Welcome to this edition of Btvn News. I'm Ivan Ruiz.
And I'm Charlene Rodriguez. Btvn News is brought to you by the broadcast journalism students at Cal State Long Beach. We will get to the weather shortly, but we begin tonight with breaking news coming out of Mexico. Chaos erupting on the streets of Jalisco tonight after the Mexican army killed Nemesio Ruben Oseguera Cervantes, leader of the Jalisco New Generation cartel. The cartel leader, better known as El Mencho, was wounded during the operation. He was then flown to Mexico City, but died during the transfer. The drug lord's death has set off a series of explosions throughout the normally peaceful streets of Puerto Vallarta and Guadalajara. Several flights in and out of Jalisco have been suspended, and the U.S. Embassy has advised all American tourists to shelter in place. The killing of El Mencho is just the latest as the Mexican government vows to crack down on cartel leaders. Well, the unrest has left many American tourists stranded in parts of western Mexico. Here's how some describe the panic they witnessed on the streets.
It really did look and feel like a war zone. And I think that feeling of anxiety, that feeling of what does happen next or what could happen next is driving what a lot of people are feeling right now.
If you love your life, stay here. Don't go anywhere. The only worry is food, water. Everything is closed. It's like a ghost town. It's like there's no Ubers, no taxis, no buses. It's a tourist place, something that's supposed to be beach therapy, ended up being traumatizing for a lot of people here.
Now over to the deadly weather that has wreaked havoc here at home. A massive rescue operation is underway at this hour after an avalanche buried a group of backcountry skiers near Lake Tahoe. The skiers were on the final leg of the 3-day trip when a wall of snow, ice, and rocks came crashing down without warning. In the chaos, survivors dug frantically through deep snow, searching for friends and guides, then fought to stay alive. Nearly 4 dozen rescuers raced in on skis and snowcats, battling whiteout conditions for hours. 6 people have been pulled out alive, 2 rushed to the hospital, 8 others were found dead, making this the deadliest avalanche in state history. The search continues for one skier who remains missing tonight, but crews face a narrowed window before the next round of dangerous weather rolls in.
The impact of these storms is being felt far beyond the mountains. Thousands of people across Northern California remain without power tonight. Falling trees knock down power lines, blocking roadways and even sparking fires in some spots. Flooded roads and sidewalks have made travel difficult for days. Officials are urging residents to stay clear of any roads that could be obstructed by debris or downed lines. Crews are working around the clock to clear debris and restore power, but officials say it could be days before conditions fully improve.
The Department of Homeland Security is facing a partial government shutdown after lawmakers left Washington without reaching a fund agreement. At the center of the standoff is federal immigration enforcement, with DHS funding now uncertain as negotiations stall. Democratic leaders are pushing back on additional funding unless changes are made to ICE policies, including requiring agents to wear body cameras and banning the use of masks during operations. Republicans say talks are continuing, but warn that a DHS shutdown could create what, quote, a dangerous situation, unquote.
Meanwhile, the fallout from the Supreme Court ruling on President Trump's tariffs agenda continues. Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker is demanding a refund of $1,700 for every family in the state. Money he says Americans were unfairly forced to pay under the tariffs. That would be roughly $8.7 billion. President Trump has called the ruling a disgrace and moved quickly to keep his tariffs in place. Hours later, he announced a new 10% global tariff under a different trade law. He then increased it to 15%. These tariffs can only be in place for 150 days unless Congress extends them. Now lawmakers will decide whether to back the president or reassert their control over U.S. Trade Policy 17.
Major developments out of Los Angeles, where Meta CEO Mark Zuckerberg took to the stand in the landmark tech addiction trial. Attorneys press Zuckerberg on claims that Instagram was intentionally designed to keep younger users engaged through features like infinite scroll, a central argument in the lawsuit. Zuckerberg pushed back on claims that social media harms children's mental health, saying Meta's goal is to create positive and meaningful experiences, not addictive ones. But plaintiffs argue those design choices contribute to rising rates of anxiety and depression among teens.
Now to some campus news. Skilled workers across the California State University system are striking this week. Members of Teamsters Local 2010, which includes trade workers like electricians and maintenance staff, walked out of after promised raises were not honored. This comes as the campus presidents got a 9% raise. The strike is expected to impact facilities and operations across all CSU campuses. Though most universities say classes will continue, more updates are expected as negotiations continue.
The Guthrie investigation has now entered its fourth week, and tonight the FBI is revealing more evidence found near the family's home. Investigators have found DNA evidence on a glove that appears to match the one worn by the suspect. His image was caught on Guthrie's home security camera the night of her disappearance. The DNA found on the glove is undergoing forensic analysis, and time is of the essence, as DNA can break down completely in a matter of days. Meanwhile, the emotional turmoil of this case continues to weigh on Guthrie's daughter, Savannah Guthrie, as she takes to social media to plea for the kidnapper to come forward.
To whoever has her or knows where she is, that it's never too late. It is never too late to do the right thing.
We turn now from that investigation to a major demonstration downtown, where thousands are taking to the streets of Los Angeles to renew attention on Iran's crackdown on protesters.
Btvn reporter Ethan Cohen is live with more. Ethan?
Thousands of demonstrators packed the streets of downtown Los Angeles, joining others around the world in unity for the Iranian Global Day of Action. Flags, signs, and voices filled the air, all calling for freedom and justice in Iran.
Iran is my motherland, and the innocent and unarmed people of Iran have been oppressed, murdered, tortured for the past 46 years.
Protesters say they are standing with people inside Iran who continue to face a violent crackdown from the Islamic Republic. The regime has killed an unknown number of protesters, many reports saying in the thousands. They shut down internet access and targeted activists in a campaign to silence dissent.
And when I say slaughtered, butchered, like slitting their wrists, like beheading, like shooting people point blank at hospital beds, killing people as young as 2 years old.
Many called on President Donald Trump to take a harsher stance against the Islamic Republic, urging him not to return to negotiations and instead support the Iranian people's push for freedom.
I don't want Trump make the deal with this kind of evil, regime. And again, if they stay on the power, they will kill lots of more people.
For many, this is about more than one day of action. It's about keeping pressure on a regime that continues to quash protests and silence voices of change.
Thank you, guys. I'm right out here in front of City Hall, Los Angeles, where thousands of people are marching right here around me. There's said to be over 40,000 people here attending this rally and march against the Iranian regime. People who are pro-Persia. There are people here who are out for Reza Pahlavi, calling for him to return to take over the country. They're also calling on President Trump to take action against the Islamic regime. They say no deals. They do not want any deals with the Islamic regime. They want it to be toppled and for Reza Pahlavi to come in and take over. These people have said enough. Alrighty guys, that's it for me. My name's Ethan Cohen, Beach TV News.
Thanks, Ethan. It's time for a short break, but when we return...
Coming up, Kim Jong-un may be giving up his seat as the leader of North Korea. Who could be taking over the country, and will they change anything during their rule? Plus,
USA versus the world and a clash of generations. NBA All-Star Weekend has concluded. We'll have the highlights for you when we return.
I wonder if you know that I want the best for you. I know you're going through a lot. I wonder if you know that the big homie needs help too. That you can't just rebound from everything. I know you've been grinding.
Let's go, let's go, let's go.
But how long will you fight solo? I wonder if you know that we can get help. I wonder why we waited so long. I'm not wondering anymore. Love, your mind. Let's see how far we can go.
We come from a long line of farmers, and there's a sense of pride with being part of these multi-generational businesses. But there's also a significant amount of pressure. My senior year of high school, my dad made the decision that this world no longer needed him in it. I don't know if he was overwhelmed by the bills and checks that weren't going to be coming in because of the strawberries dying off, but it breaks my heart that my dad made a permanent decision for a temporary issue. Don't feel like you have to go through it alone.
Farmers have to take care of their physical and their mental health, because what's a farm without a farmer?
In the mornings, that's my time. Watching the sun come up, I can have a cup of coffee and exercise if I want to. It helps me start the day with a sense of gratitude.
Yay!
Every day is a new opportunity. Don't forget to check in on yourself. Love, your mind.
Welcome back. The inaugural Board of Peace Summit is underway, with officials from nearly 50 countries taking part. The gathering brought together 27 full members, along with global observers, to lay out an ambitious plan for Gaza's future. Leaders discussed billions of dollars in reconstruction aid, possible troop contributions for a proposed international stabilization force, and a long-term roadmap for security and governance. But the message extended beyond Gaza. President Trump issued a direct warning to Iran, saying Tehran has about 10 days to reach what he called a meaningful deal. Officials say the success of any peace plan and stability across the region may hinge on Iran's next move.
In other news, it appears that North Korea's Kim Jong-un has selected his successor. Here to give you the details on the leader's choice and other world news headlines is Carlos Acedo.
Thank you. Tonight, questions swirl about a possible new leader in North Korea. The US and Iran return to the negotiating table, and Russia moves to ban WhatsApp. Here's a look at what's making headlines around the world.
In North Korea, South Korean intelligence says leader Kim Jong-un appears poised to designate his 13-year-old daughter, Kim Joo-ae, as his successor. Lawmakers in Seoul say the teenager has increasingly appeared alongside her father at military parades and missile launches, fueling speculation she is being prepared to lead. If confirmed, the move would extend the Kim's family's dynastic rule into a fourth generation. Analysts say the public appearances are a calculated signal to both domestic elites and the international community about the regime's long-term stability. Meanwhile, Iran and the United States are preparing for renewed nuclear talks in Geneva. Iranian officials say they are open to compromises on their nuclear program if Washington discusses easing economic sanctions. The talks mark a second round of high-level diplomacy aimed at reviving a stalled agreement, as tensions remain high over Iran's uranium enrichment and Western concerns about its nuclear ambitions. Iranians continue to protest after a nationwide crackdown that left thousands dead, with large demonstrations also held overseas in solidarity with those calls for change. And in Russia, authorities have blocked the messaging app WhatsApp and restricted access to Telegram as part of a broader push to curb foreign social media platforms. The Kremlin is steering users toward the state-backed app Max, saying it complies with national laws. critics argue the move tightens government control over online communication and limits independent sources of information amid an ongoing digital crackdown.
From North Korea to Geneva and Moscow, those are the developments shaping the world right now. Back to you at the news desk.
While world leaders make moves on the global stage, athletes were making history, cashing in, and surviving chaos this weekend. From a history-making run on the Olympic slopes to a clutch performance at Pebble Beach to absolute mayhem at Daytona, Kaylee Gallagher has a packed sports blog tonight. Kaylee?
That's right, Ivan. From history on the Olympic slopes to a statement win on the PGA Tour to one of the wildest finishes in Daytona 500 history, it was a weekend packed with momentum-swinging moments. Here's a look at your sports headlines. Brazilian ski racer Lucas Pinheiro Braathen made history Saturday, powering to gold in the Olympic giant slalom. Through heavy snow and thick fog, the 25-year-old delivered a clutch final run, finishing in 2 minutes, 25 seconds. He topped defending champion Marco Odermatt by more than half a second, securing South America's first ever Winter Olympics gold medal. Colin Morikawa claimed his 7th PGA Tour victory Sunday, winning the AT&T Pebble Beach Pro-Am at 22 under. Morikawa closed with a 5 under final round to edge the field by 1 stroke, earning $3.6 million and 700 FedEx Cup points. After starting the week tied for 39th, Morikawa caught fire with a 10 under Saturday and held off late charges from Scotty Scheffler, Minwoo Lee, and others, securing his first tour win since 2023. The Daytona 500 lived up to its name as the Great American Race, delivering non-stop drama and destruction. Leads changed a record 25 times as drivers raced 3 wide for most of the day. The chaos peaked late with a massive 20-car wreck in Stage 2 and an even wilder final lap. As leaders crashed and cars slid sideways across the finish line, Tyler Reddick emerged from the smoke and confusion to win the Daytona 500 by just 0.3 of a second. What a weekend in sports. A gold medal breakthrough for Brazil, a clutch performance at Pebble Beach, and survival at Daytona. Now, a new format and a thrilling finish, the NBA 75th All-Star Game featured clutch shots and game-winning drama. Brian Chavez joins us live from Inglewood with more. Brian?
Good evening and thank you. Live from Los Angeles, outside the Inouye Dome, where this year's All-Star Weekend has just wrapped up, and all eyes were on the new round-robin format. 1 world team, 2 U.S. teams battling it out. The NBA 75th All-Star Game tipped off on Sunday night at the Inouye Dome, the first time the event has been held in Inglewood, and the 7th time Los Angeles has hosted All-Star Weekend. In the first game, the U.S. Stars faced Team World, and Victor Wembanyama scored 11 points, but it was Scotty Barnes who hit a clutch late 3 and finished with 12 points to lift the Stars. In the second game, the U.S. Stripes edged the Stars 42-40. De'Aaron Fox just took 3 shots all game, hitting 2, including this game-winning 3 at the buzzer. In the third game, the Stripes met Team World in another tight matchup, and it was Kawhi Leonard in front of his home fans who hit a game-winning 3 to send the Stripes to the championship round. That set up a final between the U.S. Stars and the U.S. Stripes, a clash of generations, and it was the Stars who controlled it from start, winning 47-21 to claim the All-Star title. Anthony Edwards totaled 32 points across the night and was named All-Star MVP, closing out a historic weekend here in Los Angeles. Currently, the Lakers sit in 5th and the Clippers in 10th. As the league returns back to its regular season action, both teams will be looking to solidify their playoff chance. Reporting live from Inglewood, California, Brian Chavez, Btvn News.
Thanks, Brian. Now over to the Winter Olympics, which have been a bit underwhelming for Team USA. While the red, white, and blue normally takes first in medal counts for the Summer Olympics, the Winter Games are an entirely different story. It's been a bumpy road for Team USA in 2026, with key injuries dashing dreams of gold for many. Veteran Olympian Lindsey Vonn is recovering after undergoing her 3rd surgery in a week, following a crash in the downhill that cut her Milan campaign short. Snowboarder Chloe Kim fought through a dislocated shoulder, nearly derailing her bid for her 3rd straight gold in the halfpipe. And figure skating favorite Ilya Malinin fell twice, finished finishing 8th after entering the competition as a gold medal contender. Men's hockey, on the other hand, has been a bright spot for the U.S., remaining undefeated in group play and delivering one of the team's strongest performance and going on to win gold. On the women's side, Team USA also captured gold in a thrilling overtime win over Canada. And on the ice, Alyssa Liu claimed her first Olympic gold medal in the women's figure skating. A slow start, but a strong finish for the Team USA. Back to you guys. Thanks, Kaylee. With those medals, Team USA finishes the Olympic Games in second with 33 medals, and Norway goes on to dominate with 44 medals, including 18 gold. Not bad at all for a shaky start.
Not bad at all. Well, from Milan, now back to LA. With the 2026 FIFA World Cup just a few months away, SoFi Stadium is starting to undergo changes. BTV News' Noah Quesada is live in Inglewood with more. Noah?
That's right, guys. I'm outside of SoFi Stadium here in Inglewood, California, and this place is absolutely massive and beautiful. I mean, take a look. This place can hold over 70,000 people, and it will look to play host for the 2026 FIFA World Cup coming this June. Now, members of SoFi and FIFA were gracious enough to share some information about the preparations going into the tournament. The entire playing field will be composed of natural grass that will undergo its first test on March 20th. All last year, SoFi installed irrigation with a sub-air system for the natural grass pitch. The stadium has hosted 11 international soccer matches in the past, including a Gold Cup final in 2023 and 2 Copa America finals in 2024. Now, SoFi will look to host 8 matches this summer for the World Cup, including 3 knockout stage matches. Fans will surely be getting a great experience when the World comes to town. Reporting from Inglewood, California for BTV News, I'm Noah Quesada. Back to you guys in the studio.
Thanks, Noah. We will definitely be at SoFi Stadium rooting on our team. Time for another short break, but coming up,
the real-life Hollywood rivalry between Justin Baldoni and Blake Lively heats up. How their legal battle is taking another surprising turn, and 7 marathons, 7 continents in 7 days? It sounds impossible, but one woman makes it a reality. Her remarkable journey up next.
The thing that drives me every day as a dad is him. His real name is Darion, and we call him Day for short. Every day he's hungry for something, whether it's affection, attention, knowledge. And there's this huge responsibility in making sure that when he's no longer under my wing, that he's a good person. I think the advice I would give is you don't need to know all the answers. The craziest thing was believing that your dad knew everything. So as a dad, you felt like you had to know everything. You had to get everything right. It's okay to make mistakes. Just do it from the right place. As long as it's coming from love, then, it kind of starts to work itself out. I want him to be able to sit back one day and go, we worked together, we did a good job. I'll say my kid's pretty dope.
Being a cowboy, I don't know anything different from when I was 3 or 4 years old. I did tough things. I thought everybody needed to do tough things, and if you didn't, I didn't have time for it. I had a very successful career at a very young age, and life was fast. I was preparing physically. I wasn't doing anything mentally on the inside. And then I got hurt. I wanted to be better as a person, and I really dug into mental health. I start my day with 20-minute workouts. I live life 8 seconds at a time. Horses are so therapeutic. They know what you're feeling. When you're nervous, they're nervous. You won't say it back, but we're pals. I take a lot of responsibility in taking care of my kids, my family, and being there for them. You're gonna have tough days. Everybody does. Find a place to stop and just breathe. Love your mind.
Welcome back. Well, Ivan, I have a question for you. Do you like to color? See, I was just in San Fernando, and let's take a look at how they're using coloring as a form of peaceful protest against recent immigration policies. We've seen dozens of protests throughout the nation. However, this San Fernando community is finding a way to protest recent immigration raids through art.
What was once a small gathering at a park in the valley is now an event drawing people of all ages. Residents of San Fernando and the surrounding areas came together to color, create crafts, and make their voices heard. Chile Morana, the event's organizer, wanted to create a safe space where artists could freely express themselves without the worry of ICE agents showing up.
I think right now a lot of people need space to just more so create, but with intention. As an artist myself, I usually create these spaces for myself, but sometimes when you open it up to people, especially adults, because we don't do enough arts and crafts, it becomes more of a fun, welcoming thing. Sometimes it could be a little awkward, like if you ask someone like, come over and color, and it's like no one really says that anymore. But I think when it has the intention, especially something as important as the issue that we're currently facing within our community, it pulls more attention and it pulls more people together.
Art is ultimately self-expression, what we feel deep within ourselves. And what I've noticed is that people feel very strongly about standing up for human rights and speaking out against injustice. So I think that's where art really shines.
The event has grown so much since last year that now attendees are finding out about the event via social media, much like Daniel Thompson.
I found out about it through Instagram. I forget where, but I follow a lot of the immigrant organizations or, immigrant right organizations.
And so the San Fernando Valley proved how they can use art as resistance. In San Fernando, California, Sherlyn Rodriguez, Beach TV News.
A book written in 1847 is coming to life on the big screen and starring 2 Hollywood A-listers. Here's Tyler Williams with the scoop and more entertainment news. Tyler?
Thank you. I am Tyler Williams with your entertainment buzz. From celebrities going to court, YouTubers becoming movie stars, and a love story brought to life, this is your entertainment rundown. The new movie Wuthering Heights hit theaters on Valentine's weekend and led in the box office. The film starred Margot Robbie and Jacob Elordi, bringing the 1847 book Wuthering Heights to life for the new generation. The 2 actors' on-screen chemistry has been a major talking point amongst fans, with fans praising the 2 actors for their raw and authentic connection. Speaking of adaptations, YouTuber Markiplier is starring in a live-action film adaptation of popular game Iron Lung. Not only is he taking the big screens as an actor, but he also wrote, directed, and produced the new movie. The movie follows a lone prisoner navigating through an ocean of blood located in a distant moon. The movie costed $3 million to create and has made over triple that amount. And from a box office success to a legal battle, Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni have failed to reach a settlement after 6 grueling hours spent in the courtroom. After co-starring in the film It Ends With Us, Blake Lively accused Baldoni of sexual harassment. On February 11th, the 2 movie stars attended a pre-trial settlement conference for negotiation. Reports say the 2 stayed in different rooms during the pre-trial, but were unable to come to an agreement. Because of this, the trial is expected to take full court in May. From courtroom settlements to big screen adaptations, that's the latest from the world of entertainment. Now back to the newsroom.
Thanks for those updates, Tyler. Speaking of entertainment, imagine what it's like to go on a blind date in real life instead of having to hide behind a screen.
Let's go to our reporter, Isabella Siqueira, who tells us why Gen Z is steering away from dating apps and opting for in-person dating mixers to mingle instead.
A simple swipe is no longer cutting it for people in the dating scene. Some people crave real and authentic human connection, like the one you can see behind me here, where instead of swiping left or right endlessly, you can be set up on a blind date and ask those uncomfortable and funny questions up front and in real time.
This mixer event, hosted by Rebel Girl Inc. at the Fox Theater in Pomona, allows singles to mingle in real time.
So the good thing about the 3 of us is that we will be your wing woman. So if we see stuff going a little like awry or awkward, we're gonna pull you in and kind of ask like a icebreaker if you guys need trouble, like have trouble with like participating or maybe throwing you into the photo booth, like break that ice. That's so important.
Those who signed up online to go on a blind date were given an envelope that would reveal who their date was and were then instructed to find that person and make conversation with them throughout the night.
It's fun because it's more in person and it's more real. I feel like a lot of it is behind the screen, and boys say a lot of things behind screens, and it gets kind of gross and weird. So it's nice to have real in-person interactions.
While some people found their match and were able to hit it off, not everybody found this kind of dating productive.
I felt a little bit of anxiety because I've never been on a date before, and I guess I still haven't been on a date. So I really wanted to make sure that I got everything checked out. You know, I shaved, I got these flowers, just have everything like right for the night. I'm not really feeling like, I think it's a little bit too late in the night to actually get a date, but if I see somebody else, I have no problem talking to.
But even if the dates didn't go well, people could dance the night away at a show. This is Isabella Siqueira reporting from Pomona for Beach TV News.
Thanks, Isabella. A woman from Tennessee loves to run and compete.
So much so that she participated in an insane world marathon challenge.
Most runners train for one marathon, but this Sevier County woman lives for the extremes.
So I did the World Marathon Challenge, which is 7 marathons on 7 continents in 7 days.
Dawn Doucette started the challenge in the coldest place on Earth, Antarctica, 26.2 miles done. From there, Cape Town, another 26.2. Then to Perth, Australia.
You had the full moon and the skyline of Perth. I mean, it was absolutely stunning.
Then from Dubai to Madrid to Brazil to Miami, Doucette crossed the finish line 183 miles later.
I think I ran for just over 29 hours, but you spent way more time than that on a plane.
The accountant by day finds solitude in movement. But you'll notice one thing missing from her home gym in East Tennessee.
I will own every machine except a treadmill. I'll get outside and run, even if it's raining, snowing, sleeting.
Doucette placed third in the women's category. She's now run 80-plus marathons, including 2 on every continent and 1 in all 50 states. She's taking it easy post-race, but already has her sights set on her next adventure.
I do plan to hike to Everest Base Camp this year.
After circling the globe 1 marathon at a time, she says the biggest lesson is simple.
You never know what tomorrow's going to bring, so I feel like if there's something you want to do, if there's a challenge, something you want to accomplish, do it now.
And Ivan, get this. Doucette also plans to return to Australia later this year to run the Sydney Marathon. Again.
Man, I kind of feel like I need to be achieving a bit more.
No kidding. Well, that's it for this edition of Beach TV News. I am Charlene Rodriguez.
And I'm Ivan Ruiz. Remember, you can be a part of the conversation. Head over to our socials and let us know what you think about tonight's stories.
From all of us at Btvn, good night, Long Beach.